days at the stick. From who's got it better than us to brick by brick. It's always the 49ers way, from off-season to game day. Yeah, we talk back. It's the 49ers Cutback.
Pure nickel corner is going to come up next, and that's Mike Sainristil out of Michigan. And I think he's one of the best nickel corners in the entire draft. I think I like Barry Lassiter outside, so I wouldn't put him ahead of Sainristil. Cooper DeJean potentially ahead of Sainristil. But with Mike Sainristil, we've seen this guy play nickel corner in college and played at the highest of levels. If you were talking about a pure nickel corner, this is the number one guy. There's no transition. The guy's been doing it. He did it for Jim Harbaugh. He understands how to do it at a high level, playing in big-time football games. I absolutely love this guy. Now, he's not going to be the model size weight that everyone's looking for, but he plays a lot bigger than 5'9", 182 pounds. The guy is explosive, and he's very energetic. He gets there quickly. Hips are very fluid. He's able to turn. But what's very noticeable is the explosion in a multitude of ways. Explosion in run support, explosion as far as in tackling and hitting, and with flipping his hips and moving a very good flip of his hips with good fluidity on when he does that. He has great adaptability with his technique. He can play off-man coverage. He can play zone. He fits very nice with the 49ers system. He's got a lot of intelligence. Reaction speed is very good. He will react to things happening. He's very competitive. He competes. He battles with wide receivers. He gets physical. He does a very good job of surging into tackles and making plays. He's one of those guys that can high point passes and knock things away. I think he's going to be an outstanding slot defender in the NFL. Mike Sainristil, probably my favorite nickel corner in this entire draft. Even though I like Cooper DeJean so much, I think that, Mike Sainristil, if you're targeting just a nickel corner, you could probably wait until somewhere in the second round. A lot of people are going to have a third-round grade on Mike Sainristil because he only plays nickel. Not me. The way that the NFL is trending and the way that the NFL is going with 70 to 75% of the snaps being in the nickel, I think the value for nickel corners has got to go up some. I think your value for a Sam Backer, for instance, is probably tanking, and your ranking and your need of a nickel corner is going up. So for me, a guy like Sainristil that does it at such a high level, I got a second-round grade on him. This guy is fantastic. I'm not willing to go with what other people think. This is what I believe. The dude is an absolute beast. I think the question marks about Sainristil have to be his size and length and weight. But he's a football player, and so I don't care about size, length, and weight when it comes to being a football player. If Nate Wiggins would have been aggressive, been a guy that was going out there and making hits and making plays, I wouldn't have worried about his weight because he would have been playing like a real, football player, like a guy that goes out there and makes plays. Wiggins is, going ahead and doing it differently. So I like him. I think another question mark will be he'll be 24, but you don't worry about that, especially, you might worry about him being in the first round, but second round, 4 years, he'll be 28. Potentially you get one more contract out of him. Your team could completely change in that time. What you're worried about is the next 4 years. I think Sainristil will do a very good job for the 49ers. And nickel corners don't stop because Andrew Phillips is my next guy. And I don't know what other people are thinking about Andrew Phillips, but I got a second-round grade on Andrew Phillips. This dude is absolutely fantastic. The same way I'm excited about Sainristil, I'm excited about Andrew Phillips. This guy is hyper-explosive. He just finds his way to the football. He closes gaps quickly. The dude is very fun to watch. He's got great acceleration. It allows him to undercut crossing concepts. Love that about him. Once again, the fluid hip ability allows him to turn and run with receivers without losing any speed or having to get up to speed. I love that. Short areas, he's fantastic. He moves really quickly, can turn on a dime. He mirrors with receivers very well. Very instinctive, the same way Sainristil is. Great support defender, but playing nickel corner, he knows what his run defense is supposed to be. When he was playing outside, he did a very good job of setting the edge. Very good being a force defender. So I really like him. I think he's got a good angle IQ, which means he can cut people off. He does a very good job with that. He's very physical, the same way Sainer still is. He has the versatility to play the slot and outside. Now, I think he's more accustomed to play on the inside, to me. Guy that makes a lot of sense for the 49ers. I think I've seen him mocked now to the 49ers at 63. I think that could be a real possibility. I think the 49ers have a potential, if they get through the first round and maybe they take an offensive lineman or another position, they don't address corner, but they could address corner in round 2, either trading up for a Mike Sainer still or at 63 going this direction with Andrew Phillips or even Mike Sainer still if he's still there. There's some that think he's going to be a third-round pick. In fact, both of these guys I've seen mocked consistently in the third round. I think they're second-round talent. So if you get to the third round and they're available, you got to run that in. If you're the 49ers at 94, if these guys make it out of the second round, it's time to start thinking about trading up and using one of your 3 fourth-round picks to go get one of these guys because they're that good. These guys could start day one with Deommodore Lenoir staying on the outside. Boy, would that change some things if the 49ers were able to plug and play one of these corners at nickel, leave Demo outside with Charvarius Ward, and then have Isaac Gedem and Rock Ya-Sin and Darrell Luter Jr. or whoever wins that last spot available as your depth. It could be fantastic. So another second-round grade, Enos Registraw out of Missouri. Love the tape. Absolutely love this guy. 5'11", 183 pounds. Once again, not your prototypical, size. He's not a big guy. He's not over 190. He's got a little bit more lean frame, which is going to scare a lot of people. But he's one of those guys that goes out there. He has good length for a good reach. He's explosive moving upfield. He's quick at accelerating. He can get vertical really, really fast. He's one of those guys that can stride very quickly. He's just got one of those guys to correct and go really quick. So if he makes a mistake, he can go ahead and correct it real quick with good flexibility. Sinks his hips really good. I love the way he's able to match releases. He's got good 180 turns. This guy is just one of those guys that's very good at playing cornerback. He can play press man, and he can stay square when he jams, and he's a very solid corner. This guy really jumped off the screen to me. I was watching him, and I've heard his name, but just really getting involved and getting into the depth of the film is where you start to really find guys you like. And these last 3 guys here in the second round are all guys I could see playing nickel. Now, when it comes to Registraw, he can play outside as well. These guys are very, very good. He does a good job of attacking the run, which makes him a guy able to play nickel corner in the NFL and play for the 49ers. One of the things the 49ers struggled with, they loved Sam Womack playing nickel with the way he's able to change direction very quickly. That's where they wanted him. But him in run fits was a problem. After 2 weeks of his rookie season, they benched him and they put Deommodore Lenoir in the nickel. And that's where they saw Lenoir's real worth. I mean, Lenoir is fantastic in the outside and inside, but that's what they were hoping Womack was going to be. But one of the keys the 49ers are looking at when they're looking at corners, they're looking at that ability to play run fits, to know where to be physical at the point of attack, and to assist as a third linebacker. And Registraw definitely does that. So those are 3 nickel corners I like that I have second-round grades on that could be available anywhere between round 2 and round 3. Mike Sainer, Andrew Phillips from Kentucky, and Enos Registraw from Missouri. I like all those guys. Those guys are very talented. Of course, Sainer and Andrew Phillips I like the most, but Registraw's pretty good too. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Until then, stay safe. And remember, the right way is always the 49ers way.